Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video where I'm gonna watch the final episode that's out until tomorrow, Thursday, because I'm on the West Coast. Tomorrow will be the 7th episode of The Rings of Power, which will come out. Today I'm watching number 6. So last episode I was not too thrilled by it. It kind of started to bother me. The episodes before also were not that great. They were mixed, mostly not great, but there were some good parts. And the last one was just like, what is going on here? And they keep doing a lot of these dumb things, like stupid things they say or do, plots that don't make much sense or are boring, crazy Disneyfied action scenes. So I imagine it's gonna be like that on this episode based off of what I've seen, episode number 6. And there's gonna be even more craziness, but there is action in this episode from what I understand. So I've heard that it might be a little bit better because of that. So we shall see. I'm gonna start playing it right now. And away we go. This episode is called Udun. Can't wait to get blown away by this. He was really massaging that soil. This is strangely sexual. New life in Kenyan. Ah, yes, the 25 orcs. Actually, we found out there was thousands, or at least several hundreds. This is the first time, well, the last episode at the end was the first time that we saw that many orcs. He's talking to his children. Apparently he created them somehow or gave birth to them. And he's like, oh, we've done so much crossfield and mountain and everything. But again, they haven't really showed much of that, you know? They showed them digging a ditch and like wandering through a city. So, I haven't seen it. Convince me that they've crossed mountains and oceans and lands. Wait, he's calling them brothers and sisters now. He was like, my children. And now we're gonna fight and die like brothers. So what is it? What kind of family is this? He's giving them like this huge pet talk, and there's like 20 people in a tower. They could easily just overrun them. Why are they just walking up? Are they trying to attack? Do they know that they're in the tower? So why are they just strolling up like doo doo doo? They might shoot us with arrows and stuff, but whatever. And then this guy on the left is like his right-hand man now. He just joined them, and he's a human. Why is he like up at the front? Or maybe he's just like, come up to the front so you can die sooner. All right. Don't you want to like charge? Why does he open the door casually? Like, hey, how's it going, friends? Don't they know that they're hiding in that tower? This doesn't make any sense. Or maybe their spies told them, yeah, they're not in the tower anymore. So you can just stroll right on up. Arendir is gonna take them all on. Yeah, I got this. All 3,000 orcs, no problem. No. This is so stupid. What? This whole tower was held by a rope? What? No. That's not how you build a tower. I know. I used to play with Legos, okay? You put the pieces and they connect together. And then if you wanted to go all out, you could like use Elmer's glue. And they obviously did not do that with this. They just stacked the rocks. They didn't put any cement or anything, and was like, oh, it's like falling apart, so I guess we should wrap it with a rope. And one little rope is supposed to hold that thing. No. He just karate kicked that cinder block. Oh, the fat guy just got crushed. That was stupid. The dude, what's his name? Adar. Was like, he didn't want to move. The rocks were falling, and the guy was like, you must move. And he was like, And then he jumped away at the last minute. Is that supposed to look cool or something? In The Lord of the Rings, they did it with the orc guy with the disfigured face, and they shot a huge rock at him, and he just stood there until the last second, and then he was like, and then jumped out of the way. So that's what they were trying to go for here. But it was the discount Dollar General version, because it really did not look good. So that tower is going to kill, a lot of those orcs on that whatever steps. But there were like thousands of them, so... Alright, they killed a few. Why do they have the lights on? Couldn't the orcs see them from that far? I mean, they see the orcs from that far away. So if one orc was just looking the opposite direction, they would be like, hey, there's a bunch of lights down there moving around and I can hear some screaming. And they're going, yeah. All right, let's see how many horses they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have like 8 or 9. That horse didn't even bite it. The horse didn't even bite the apple. They put a sound effect to make it sound like it, but all the horse did was like, "Mite." You can tell because there's no additional like bite in it. Okay, so you can see his bite, and now it's still there. Still just his bite. No additional bite. What does this apple scene have to do with anything? This guy has some weird horse saliva kinks.
It'll be visible to your eyes in a few moments.
Okay, in The Lord of the Rings, what's his name? The elf? Legolas. He's not the one that said, oh, I'm so great, I can see so far away. Yeah, I mean, later on he was, like, having fun with, like, Gimli or whatever and being like, I killed this many orcs. But he wasn't, like, gloating. Here, Galadriel is like, oh, you'll see land soon enough with your human eyes, but I've seen it already. Great, Galadriel, thank you. Yes, you are amazing, and your eyesight is supreme.
Is it visible to yours already? Has been for me now.
Yeah, the land's been visible for me for over an hour now. Awesome. Great, you're amazing. You're so great. I don't want to hear her say humility regarding anything at all, unless it's preceded by the words, I am not. She has no business saying anything about humility. She just said, I have seen the land for the last hour, and you will see it in just a little bit, but I've already been seeing it for a long time. By the way, humility is a great thing that you should be humble. Don't knock humility. What are they talking about? He's like, I just wanted to get away from Numenor. It's not the same as it used to be. In fact, if it even is Numenor. She's like, oh, it is Numenor. Yes. What does that even mean? Like, what do you mean it hasn't been Numenor, or it wasn't Numenor, or it is Numenor? The land's right there. Has he not seen the sunrise before? He's like staring at it like it's some great thing. Look at that. That's just the sun. He's looking at look. Wow. Yeah, it's a nice sunrise. What's with all the epic music? Somebody needs to rewrite this script immediately. You can't say some sappy story like, oh, I'm traveling toward the horizon in a new way because blah, blah, blah. By the way, my wife drowned. Look at how close that land is. They were just like, you'll see the land soon enough. You can't see it yet. But it's like, if they were that close, he would have been seeing it for probably like an hour. Look at how close it is.
How long until we make eye?
He just wasn't looking in the right direction. My elf eyes have seen it for an hour. He's like, when will I see it? As soon as you turn to the left. How do they know where to go? How do they know where they're going? They knew that, at least they knew that Mr. Sauron or Halbrand, they knew what he told them, right? Because he was telling them where they were attacked, and like maybe he knew more information, like where they were going. So, okay, maybe. But how do they know they're there now? I guess maybe this is like the last... I'm just making this stuff up because they didn't explain it real well. So maybe he told them, well, they were heading in this direction, and we knew that they were going to go to this city and then this city. For some reason, he knew this information because he was the king and he was in the Southlands. Okay, I can make up that little story and go with it. But I wish they did a better job explaining like how they know where to go.
It is beyond our skill to destroy.
I bet she could destroy it. She could probably find some sort of a flower that's like acidic. Maybe try that. I wouldn't hide it. I would keep it on me. Don't hide it. Someone will find it.
Not even you.
Their sound effects are just over the top. Listen to this. Watch this. He said he's seen smaller armies defeat greater foes. There's like 2,000 or 3,000 orcs out there, and they have like 20 people. There's no way.
Do you believe it?
Finally, Ismael Cruz Cordova is being a leader here, like he should have been from the beginning.
To your positions.
Why is she the leader? Ah, yes, the great warrior Bronwyn, flower picker of the southern armies. I still don't know why they don't just get out of there. We must defend ourselves at this city. We must not keep running away, even though we will probably have a better chance of living.
Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Yeah, if you find the light, the shadow won't find you because shadows are not in light. Bronwyn better die. Are they ever gonna kiss, or do they just like looking at each other? This episode's kind of boring so far. Oh, I hope the orcs just kill them all off. Who's that guy? Oh my gosh, they're just staring for like 3 minutes straight. Hello, he keeps staring, and there's like lights coming over the hill, and keeps staring. He's like, Okay, so there's not the thousands. Well, okay, they're still coming in, right? But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm not gonna count them all, but this looks like 200 right here. Okay, they have like 30 people, 10 to 1 ratio. There's no way. If any of them survive this, if one single person survives this, I'm gonna flip this table over. Today I'm drinking LaCroix Curate in Pina Fraise. They're just dragging this on. It's been like this shot of them just watching them walk in for like the past 3 minutes. Will she light the damn thing? Obviously she didn't go to Boy Scouts, because if she did, she would know how to light a fire. Come on, get to it. Didn't she live in the old times where everybody had to light fires all the time? I don't think slicing necks is the easiest part of the body to hit. It's like they do it no problem in this show. Everybody goes for the neck and they hit it, and one little nick and you're dead. Like, why are the necks so like weak in this show? It's easier to hit the general torso area of a body, but they're all slicing necks. The orc in the middle, he dived out of the way. The cart is like 50 feet away from him. All right, so they trapped him in between two fire lines of fire carts. Run out of it. Like, there's huge gaps in between these, but all right. They figured it out. All they had to do was walk through it. Okay, so the 20 people came out with broomsticks, and they're gonna fight the orcs with broomsticks, and the orcs have swords and armor and all this stuff. And they're stronger. We saw that in one of the previous episodes. They're like a couple times, 3 times stronger than a human, because they were tossing people around like nothing, that one orc. And so far they've killed like 10 orcs, maybe 15 total out of the 2,000 that we saw coming their way. So these 20 people are gonna kill the rest of the 1,985. Where's his weapon? Is he just like uses his hands in battle? It's even more blood. There was like blood dripping all over elf guy's face and on his mouth. And then someone stabbed him, and then even more gushed all over him. Oh, his love saved him. No, there's only 20 of them. No, there's like 1,000 orcs. Where are all of them? They did not survive. They're all dead right now. This is impossible. We're watching the elf get strangled and missing the rest of the fight, where apparently they killed 1,000 orcs within 2 minutes. Somehow this is still kind of boring, even though it's an action scene, because some of these scenes are just dragged out. All right, so get this right. Remember, half of their group of like 40 people defected, left, and joined the orc army. And now, so they have like 25 people, and there were 25 others that left and now are coming back to fight them. So that's 25 against 25 right there. Add 1,000 orcs. There's like, how is it possible they are alive right now? And how is it possible there's only 50 people from all of the Southlands gathered in one place? And there was only like 50 people total in all of the Southland villages. This is such small scale.
We're fighting our own.
Yeah, obviously. They make it like they're trying to make it seem so like, oh my gosh, we never knew they were gonna do this. So like 3 more people died. That's like 20% of their whole population. No, not brought. Oh wait, yeah, it's just through her shoulder, not a big deal. So if they knew that there were more orcs, because obviously there's only like 30 orcs there, and they're like, and then before they saw there were thousands, so they were just fighting that little battle. And then they were cheering and going, yeah, we defeated these 20 orcs, even though we know that there's like hundreds more out there. Yeah, let's just stop here and not do anything and celebrate. They literally just killed like 90% of all the people that were there. Because there was only like 25 people. Help him first. You need help too. I believe it was it episode 2 or 3? I can't remember. Maybe it was 4. And I was like, man, I just want to fast forward this. I'm getting that feeling again. I just kind of want to fast forward through this. You're supposed to keep it in, right? The sound effects. Ew, it's like, it's... Did you see how much it was pouring out? The blood was like pouring out of her wound. It obviously hit like a major artery or something. They shouldn't have pulled it out. She's gonna bleed out now. Look at how much blood there is. There's no way she's gonna survive. All of her blood is pouring out of her little wound. If it's an artery that's been cut, it's still gonna bleed internally. Where do you think all the blood's coming from? Just her skin? If you cut your skin, it's not gonna be like... Look at how much it's bleeding! It obviously hit an artery! Yep, that stopped the bleeding for sure. The artery that's severed, that burning the skin stopped it healed the artery internally. The orcs were waiting for her wound to be fixed up before they attacked. They were just standing out there. Wait! Bronwyn's wound has not been burned yet. Oh yes, now it has. Attack! Where'd all the horses go? Or come from? Where did all these horses come from? How do they know where to go? Where did they get the horses? They had 4 horses. How do they know where to go? How do they know they're gonna get there in time to save them? How do they know how many orcs they're going to run into? What great timing. What great timing. I don't know. They all knew where to go exactly. They came at just the right time to save them. Blah, blah, blah. I've never heard of an army carrying chains around with them and are like, okay, part of our strategy is we're gonna knock down some of our enemies with this chain. Yeah. Yeah. Is this entirely necessary? Is it really entirely necessary? That seems a little, shall we say, excessive. I hate how they just do things like have Galadriel go upside down on a horse just for the sake of making it look cool. It doesn't look cool. You know what looks cool? Actual real fighting moves. That look highly skilled with people who know what they're doing. That looks cool because it's believable. Of course, in like the Lord of the Rings, what was his name? Legolas. Legolas was like, oh, I'm gonna jump around on this elephant and I'm gonna like slide down these stairs like I'm surfing. So yeah, and I didn't think that was particularly amazing either, but it was like a couple goofy parts of the movie. It was a little more lighthearted and stuff. Here, they're not trying to be like fun and funny. They're just showing how amazing Galadriel. She's so amazing. Oh, look, she can go upside down on her horse. She can fight 10 Numenorians at once. She can, yeah, whatever. I don't care, Galadriel. I don't care about you. The blood looks so fake, first of all. But he did listen to Galadriel's advice, her teachings, where she was like, stab and twist. The horses are Pokemon. I figured it out. They kept them in their Pokeballs. What's his name? Isildur, did he actually get any like fight training? Because he only went at like the last minute. And he was like a boat guy before, so, and then here they were like sweep the stables. So it doesn't seem like he got any like actual fighting training, and here he's like riding a horse and like stabbing, I don't know. I'm totally down with horse running scenes and chase scenes. They're always exciting. She dodged another one. Who is that? This stupid show is just trying to make her look so amazing. They're trying to make me think she's so amazing. They're like trying to force me to, but they can't. They're going like, who is she? And then showing her like doing backflips on the horse. Who is she? I hate Galadriel. You made me hate her this whole entire show. And you're trying to go, who is this amazing woman that can do backflips and fight 10 men at the same time and push them into a cell?
Commander of the Northern Armies.
I like Halbrand more. He's way ahead. There's no way they can catch up, first of all. Second of all, she's wearing all this plate armor. Although I imagine it's made out of plastic. So maybe she can catch up because she's like... Did she just... Whoa, she's running like super... She turned on the turbo! She runs at super speed! Ah! She just casted a spell on her horse. I don't like it when they do that though, when they like copy things from previous movies or whatever. It's just too lazy. Do something new, right? Don't rehash the same thing just to make me like, I know what the idea is. It's trying to make me think of like, oh, I saw this in the other Lord of the Rings movies, so oh yeah, it's really cool because I saw it in the other movie. It's just like a reference in my mind. Don't give me these obvious callbacks, all right? First of all, this show is nowhere near as good as the movies, so you're insulting me by saying anything or doing anything that has to do with the movies in this show. I didn't know that she could cast spells. This is the first time we were seeing that she can cast spells, so okay, she's a fighter and can cast spells, I guess, too. Horse spells. Apparently Halbrand can cast spells too because he's in front of them. And he obviously has a bigger turbocharger than Galadriel on his horse. He just broke the horse's legs. No. They had to show it. Stand up. They wanted to be... They were like, tell me no animals were harmed in the making of this movie without telling me no animals were harmed in the making of this... Okay, that was really long. You get the idea.
I need him alive.
Why? Why do they need him alive? She just said, no, don't kill him. We need him alive. Why? She just said nothing. Nothing can satisfy thirst but drinking seawater. She's like, you won't satisfy your revenge by doing this. Again, she's the one talking about revenge, and she's the last one that should be talking about revenge. She's the last one that should be talking about humility. This episode is all about someone teaching us not to do things from someone who does those things. Hypocrisy. Of course they won, and everybody's fine now. So what was the whole point of these people coming to the Southlands to fight? Was the goal to like just stop this one orc army and that's it? That these are the only orcs here, and they knew that they were gonna be here. They knew these are the only ones, and they knew exactly where to go and how many there were, and that they could take them on with 300 people. Do a better job. Do a better job of explaining these things to me, all right? My only personality trait is that I must find Sauron. Now she's threatening him with bringing the orcs out into the sunlight to burn them. Haven't they been out in the sunlight this whole time? Maybe it's been dark. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. But why would that threaten him? He burns their arms. He like pulls their arms out like, do you feel this? And it's like bubbling up. Galadriel is the most evil person in this show. She just said she wants to kill every last one of them. He should be dead now. She just chopped his neck. We know from the past experience in this show that if you get a little paper cut in your neck, you're dead within seconds. There's no way he can survive that. They felt what? What are they feeling? What are they? They're all feeling some things, but I don't know what they're feeling. He's like, I felt what I felt while I was fighting beside you. Oh. And she's like, I felt it too. What they got a little crush on each other. I want to skip forward right now. Her armor is the worst. With her polyester t-shirt underneath, printed with digital ink. She just called her a finest leader. She was like, Bronwyn never sought to take up the burden of leading. And what's her name? Queen Regent was like, the best leaders never do want to take up that burden. Half her people defected, and then like the rest of them died or should have died, except somehow they multiplied. She gave like a 30-second speech, and that's the extent of her leadership, where half the people left. Yas queen!
Called for me.
My king, the true king.
Promised.
The king they were promised? What are you talking about? Wasn't he the king before? It seems like they know who he is. So why is she saying the king that they were promised? Wasn't he was already a king of the Southlands? They should know him already, right? What do you mean king that was promised? Who promised them a king? I'm confused. But then again, I've been confused before with this show. I am so hesitantly the king, yes. We didn't know this was coming. Why am I supposed to be like happy now or something? Nothing in this show seems to make much sense. Yeah, not that fake king Bronwyn. We got the real king now. I don't get it. I thought he was the king before. Did they forget?
Not nearly
Oh.
so long as the elves.
He's explaining it now. They've been waiting for a king for a long time. Okay. Thank you for telling me at the end of the last episode. First ruled over by Morgoth and his dark servants, then overseen by the elves for centuries, the Southlands did not have been a sovereign realm on their own in well over an age. Well, did you tell me that? You should have told me that the first episode. I mean, I knew that the elves were watching over them. I don't remember them saying they didn't have a king. I thought that Halbrand was the king, and he just booked it out of there. But it didn't seem to me like he was gone for that long. If he was gone for a long time, then again, how did they know where the orcs were? He told them the information, but if he was been gone for a long time, the more you think about this show, the less makes sense. So I'm gonna try to rein it in here. There's a lot of staring and looking in this show. Yeah, because you felt powerful while it was in your hands, because it's just like the ring from Lord of the Rings. Oh, another callback. You felt powerful because the sword hilt dealio is just like the ring in Lord of the Rings. We all know this is a callback to Lord of the Rings to make us, all giddy inside and to think, oh, this show is great because it has callbacks to Lord of the Rings. No. I have way more brain cells than that, okay? At least 30 brain cells. Toss it in the fires of Mount Doom. Why would he give such an important... Wait a minute. We don't even still... What? Okay. What? No. Don't give it to him. So first of all... No. Don't do this. I didn't think it would get stupider, but it did. So... Let me get this straight. Arondir was like... not telling what's-his-face scarred orc elf guy, Adar, where the hilt was, to the point where he was letting Adar kill all the people there, including his girlfriend he was about to kill. And he was letting him do that. That's how important it was to keep it a secret, to keep the hilt a secret. Now... This doofus here, Theo, was like, man, I felt so powerful when I had that hilt. I feel at a loss for not having the hilt anymore. And freaking Arondir was like, well, here you go. Here's the super thing that I know is so important that I'll let people die. But here you go. You can have it. It must be extremely important, right? So why would you give it away to someone else? Especially a kid who just stated, I really liked this thing. I want to keep it for myself. Maybe I'll even, use it or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, give it to Numenor so they can toss in the sea. You give it to Numenor and toss... Hey, better yet, you go in the sea and toss it over yourself. That might be the safer way of doing things. He has an addiction. You don't give drugs back to someone who's addicted to drugs. Stab and twist. He just started the engines. Okay, now this is like Indiana Jones, all right? Which is a great series, by the way. Great trilogy. It's like top notch. But that's what they're doing here. They're doing Indiana Jones stuff where you turn a stone key and then the rock wall opens up and then there's a gold idol in there. And you pick up the gold idol and a boulder starts rolling. Yeah. First they were Disney. Now it's Indiana Jones. Who did this? Who built this whole thing with the key and everything's shaking now? So the key was to open the dam. All they had to do was take some of that explosive liquid C4 that the Numenorians carry around with them in their ships. And they could just like paint it on that dam and then light it on fire. It would have blown right up. But no, it was this key that had to remove the stones, and it's been there for centuries by what's his face, Morgoth created it probably, I guess. And he was like, yo, we need to create this like dam, like key and a dam, and surely it's gonna last for thousands of years. It's not like, you know, there's gonna be problems after 1,000 years. It's gonna work perfectly fine even after 3,000 years. Adar knew that this is what was supposed to happen, so he didn't think, maybe I don't need a key. Maybe I could just, like, you know, break the dam open with some pickaxes or something. Another, like, plot thing where, no, the father and the son are now becoming, you know, a better relationship, where before they had a poor relationship. Except it wasn't even that poor. It was, again, contrived. It was like, oh, I don't want to be on the ships. And then the father was like, well, then I don't like you. And then that went on for a little bit. And now that they battled, and he's like, oh, can you, like, teach me stuff, father? And now they're getting back together. Wow, this is such a good... No, nothing in this show has very much weight. It's like, all the plot lines are so light. All right, so the tunnel they were digging earlier was so all this water could go to this mountain. Is this the center of the mountain? The mountain was like miles away. Is it coming from the top? I don't know. You expect me to believe... So the water was coming from the top? Because that's where it's all coming from. The water was like way down here, and then it was going even down farther. So it was like underneath, but then it looked like the water was coming in from the top. So I don't really understand how that works. The water went up? Water doesn't go up, but all right. And I'm supposed to believe that a little bit of water poured into the middle of like a little pool of lava will make the whole mountain explode. This is a very big mountain. And they showed a really small pool of lava. It wasn't that big. So either this mountain is extremely small. Mountains are very big. Finally, they're all gonna die. Thank goodness. Please, yes, keep walking, please. That smoke is on fire. I'm pretty sure that I don't know how well you'd be able to survive fiery smoke. She's accepting her fate. Me too. I am also accepting your fate. Thank you. Yeah. I love that ending. That was a good ending. Yes, she died. Yes. Okay, so I've been hearing that people call that pyroclastic flow. A dense, destructive mass of very hot ash, lava fragments, and gases ejected explosively from a volcano and typically flowing downslope at great speed. All right, so that's what it was. Pyroclastic flow. So I wonder how many people have looked up whether or not you can survive pyroclastic flow. Probably several thousands of people after watching this. Can you survive pyroclastic flow? Many corpses were noted to have been shrunken and desiccated from the heat of the flow and the remaining ash. Can you escape a pyroclastic flow? You cannot outrun them. They can reach speeds of up to 300 miles per hour. If you are in the path, there is no escape. In order to escape, you need to get up high. Okay, they were not high, they were low. Can you survive a pyroclastic flow in a car? Once they start moving, pyroclastic flows pick up other debris or just wipe it out with temperatures anywhere from 300 to 700 degrees centigrade. 300 degrees centigrade minimum. Pyroclastic flow can reach up to speeds up to 300 miles per hour at 300 to 700 degrees centigrade. At least they're moving 60 miles per hour and up to 400 miles per hour, this other thing says. So running, no luck. Driving, Most likely, you're engulfed quickly, and that'll probably melt the whole car. What happens if you get caught in a pyroclastic flow? They're composed of gas and volcanic material. Well, that would make sense if the volcano erupts. Prior research has shown they can flow downhill up to 450 miles per hour. Temperatures as hot as 1,000 degrees centigrade. When a person is overcome by such a flow, the result is instant death. Instant death. Death. They should all be dead. They are all dead. They are not alive. They cannot be alive. There cannot be another episode tomorrow, because today's Wednesday and the next episode comes out tomorrow. None of them will be alive. Please, if any of them are alive, please, somebody from Amazon, you need to hire someone to do research for you, okay? Basic research. You need to find someone that you can just tell, hey, can you just do some basic, just like search on Google, okay? Please search. I need to know, I'm gonna make this volcano explode. I need to know, can anybody survive this volcano if they're near enough to be engulfed in the pyroclastic flow? Can they survive it? Please research that for me. How far away do they need to be to survive? And the researcher goes online, does a quick Google search like what I just did. Can you survive pyroclastic flow? No. It goes 400 miles per hour, 1,000 centigrade degrees. You cannot survive. Okay, thank you. Now I know that they cannot be fighting near the volcano, so I'll have to put them in a city farther away. Okay, thank you very much, sir, that we hired for $15 an hour intern that is just doing basic research. Thank you. Thank you with the $1 billion that we have. Please, everybody be dead. Well, there you have it. If any of them are alive next episode, I'm gonna jump into the pyroclastic flow myself, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Who's gonna survive that? Thanks for watching, everyone. Please, nobody survive. Please, 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 I beg you. Gods of Amazon. All right.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women.
Oh my. Oh my.
Sex with men.
Oh my. Oh my.
Sex with men.